A Mother's Day surprise I'll never forget. My son and I won $167 million. You know how people say your kids will surprise you someday? Well, mine surprised me with $167 million. My name is Linda Grizzle, and I live in Georgetown, Kentucky. I'm a mom, a grandmother, and someone who's always tried to make ends meet, but never imagined I'd see a number like that in my bank account. Back in 2009, somebody here in Georgetown won $128 million playing Powerball. I remember hearing about it on the news thinking, wow, must be nice. Never in a million years did I think it would happen again, and certainly not to me. But this time, it wasn't just another lucky stranger in town. This time, it was me and my son, and we didn't just beat the odds, we made Kentucky history. Let me take you back to the day everything changed. Let me tell you a little something about Georgetown because where you're from shapes who you are. Georgetown isn't a flashy kind of town. We're not the place people dream about visiting. But for the folks who live here, it's home in the best sense of the word. We've got old brick buildings downtown where people still hold the door open for each other. The high school football games are packed on Friday nights, and everyone's cousin probably works at Toyota. There's a calm here, a rhythm. You wave to people even if you're not quite sure where you know them from, and no one minds. Clark's Pump On Shop, that's one of our little cornerstones. It's where you fill up your tank, grab a cup of coffee, and hear who's got a new grandbaby or which neighbor planted tomatoes too early this year. That Saturday, Shannon stopped in just like he always does. Nothing unusual. He was picking up a few things, probably didn't even think twice when he grabbed that Powerball ticket. And then everything changed. It was a quiet Sunday morning. I had just poured my coffee, the kind of morning where you're still in your robe, letting the day ease in. I sat down, phone in one hand, Powerball ticket in the other. The night before, my son Shannon had stopped by Clark's Pump and Shop. He handed me a $2 Powerball ticket, said, "Here, Mom, let's split it." Why not? It wasn't a big moment. No trumpet sound, just a casual thing. One little gesture between a mom and her boy. So that Sunday morning, I'm sipping my coffee and pull up the Powerball numbers from the night before. I glance at my ticket. First number, match. Second number, match. Third, fourth, fifth. And then that red Powerball, match. I stared at it like it couldn't be real. I've seen these numbers drawn for years, always someone else's dream. People from big cities, places far away. Not a quiet little Kentucky family like mine. I picked up the phone and called Shannon. "Get home," I told him, "right now. I think we just hit the jackpot." You'd think a grown man might laugh it off, but not my son. He was home within minutes, and we drove straight back to the same gas station where he bought the ticket. I remember holding it like it was made of gold. Shannon showed the clerk, they scanned it, their eyes widened. That's when it started to feel real. Even then I kept thinking, surely we read it wrong, surely this kind of thing doesn't happen to people like us. But it did. On Monday, April 28th, we stood inside the Kentucky Lottery office with the real winning ticket. The numbers 1, 12, 14, 18, 69, and Powerball 2 were printed right there in black and white. We had just won $167 million, the largest jackpot ever won in Kentucky. They told us we could take 30 yearly payments or the lump sum. A cash option of $77.3 million. We're still talking it over with our financial advisor. Can you imagine having to call a financial advisor because you just won the lottery? That's not a problem I ever expected to have. But you want to know the truth? The first thing I thought about was peace. Peace from the stress, peace from the debt, peace from that tight feeling in your chest every time a bill comes in the mail. I've spent my life taking care of my kids, worrying about whether we'd make it month to month, like so many mothers do. And then just like that, Mother's Day came early. I looked at my son and I thought, this is the best gift I'll ever get. Not just the money, but the fact that he thought to include me, that we're sharing this together. The Kentucky Lottery folks were celebrating too. They said people ask all the time, when's Kentucky going to get a Powerball jackpot? Well, here we are. Even the gas station is getting a cut. They're getting over $37,000 just for selling the ticket. And the best part, that money the lottery brings in, it helps kids in Kentucky go to college. Scholarships, grants, so even folks who didn't win still get something from it. This whole thing has felt like a dream I still haven't woken up from. People keep asking what we're going to do now. Buy a mansion? A yacht? Honestly, I want to pay off my debt, make sure my family's taken care of, and finally breathe easy. From a $2 ticket to a $165 million miracle. All because of my son. all because of one ordinary day that turned into the most extraordinary Mother's Day gift a mom could ever receive.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and wants to see more like it, click the link on screen.